Hey, how are you? Jung. If you have a material, you can put them.
No, there. Okay.
That's a good spot though.
Yeah, Captain.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Francis. It's like,
Okay.
Hey, you know, good to see you. We're together.
Tracking down the HDMI cable.
Okay, great, thank you.
There.
Well,
yeah.
my God, I think 48, it was.
Yeah, I just, it might be in this.
Oh, okay, great.
There's some that are pretty long.
I don't.
Yes.
Okay.
Never been in
Trigger 40. It's the 48 is supposed to be there.
on camera.
Give that out. It's more never the vocalized. Now, have a professional tape from them.
Yeah.
And other bazooka, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, actually, I get a lot of people think like, oh, have you been before? And I think they're confusing me with you.
Oh, really?
Because they're like, or like, no, I haven't.
And if people confuse the time, yeah. You know, people have a, you know, the only her channel.
Yeah.
In this life.
Yes,
So I'm still like,
All of you,
No.
thanks.
yeah.
good to see you.
And let's,
Hey, yeah, I'm Ross. Hey, John, nice to meet you. Hey, there. Yeah.
hi, I'm Captain.
Hi.
Right, that's-
I'm Mary. Yeah.
Let's change it.
I like what you said this morning.
Okay.
I'm a garden nerd. I think all answers come from gardens.
Yeah,
We're really just weird plants, right? I mean, water and food and sunlight.
and I think people on the.
Wanna?
Okay, you go out. Usually I try 10 times.
You started getting scared.
Yeah, I think the garden is a good thing. I really, I think a lot of people think of winter is like it's no gardening. Actually, winter was gardening.
Oh,
It's a
really?
perfect for gardening.
Why is that?
Inside or like?
Outside.
Outside still?
Yeah. I did one time try to do the greenhouse. The winds are so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do the winter sowing where you put the seeds
You know, like,
in the small containers that are like mini greenhouses and then I was let them out. I haven't started it this year, but last year was like, hello. Yeah, it really works.
My friend does not garden, but she killed the girl. And then kind of open and there's the greenhouse, only greenhouse.
I use my big gold cups.
Oh, okay.
I'm very happy.
What's that? That email?
I'm in May. Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you all we meet? But it didn't.
I don't think, yeah, no.
Oh, you
Like,
decided.
I thought we did it. Well, we have a great, I have. It's very hard to go the same person who's always done like.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Till the.
Yeah, there. Thank you. Ah, yes, we need that.
And we'll go to you.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Good. Good to see
Hi,
you.
good to see you.
Good to see you,
Yeah,
not on
yeah.
camera.
I made sure he had your number, actually, I'm gonna store
Oh, good.
Good. This is Mary and John next to you, right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And John, I like these shoes. They're
Thank
thank you.
These are, my Christmas presents and stuff.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
You know the best, right? Which gift to.
Yes.
Well, my husband's a really good gift giver. This year we're not gonna do this, but I didn't believe it. I should have believed it. And so I wanted to buy my old food.
You like her?
Yeah.
They're very pretty.
Yeah. Are we back?
Good.
Where you pick up?
Yeah, oh, good. And it's like there's snow outside right now.
We're looking close. So I flew in from Phoenix yesterday.
So like I landed at where I am because, you know, obviously they were travel days. And I'm just like in our toilets. So yeah, they closed.
Yeah, but it was like last night, they said, we're gonna go 2 hours late.
Yeah.
And then, you guys aren't involved in this, y'all just.
Yeah,
right?
also big heaven, but I think that the state emergency, so.
As soon as they said, never mind, it's closed, I swear it stopped snowing in my house. It was like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, it snowed in half an hour and then 4 hours.
I can tell either decision. You know, if you are,
Yeah.
you know, if you are woman, it was, it's so dangerous, there's so much snow, right? But if it's close, how about my kids, you know, it's hard. And I think it's, you know, people complain about, you know, hey, I want to have a virtual day, we also have a virtual day, and the device one way, so. That's why I don't like that. If it's places, go play.
Yeah, no, yeah, as a, like, I don't know.
Find a room.
My favorite game to play is Hell.
Yeah, we probably need somebody out there. to
Like
point
there were
people in
some
the right
days when
direction, but-
that
Drinks are in the car, should I try and bring them?
It's like, that's the part of like, for college, you still have to do all your.
I found out that I can. So it's really good of all.
A sign-in sheet, I'm gonna just have you guys pass around if you've not signed it before.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, good.
I really did. I just haven't heard you like.
Last month was really busy, but, this month was.
You are ER,
Yeah,
right? So it
yeah.
depends.
Yeah, just,
I mean, all these.
Yeah.
sometimes there's heavy months, sometimes,
Uh-huh.
not too bad, so. Winter tends to be, more busy.
More busy.
Yeah, just because
If
people.
we travel too much snow.
Because of the, flu.
Yeah.
Really, it's really the flu. I mean, that drives most people, you know, come to the ER. Some people are kind of walking around, but, you know, if you have an underlying lung problem.
That's true. Yeah, your immune system is compromised, you know.
That's a radical, white lady. Middle East white lady.
Goals, hashtag goals.
Test.
Yeah, only can be usually foul together,
Yes.
step up.
Yeah, yeah, she's got some. I'm still, you know, have a 1-year-old. Picking them up, and all that stuff.
But 1 year is also demanding,
Yeah.
you know, probably.
No,
3,
Yeah, I'm old.
Okay.
And,
How old is your?
My youngest
Okay.
will be ninth grade. Yeah, not the 8th grade. And but you never
Yeah.
cannot feel the time to like, oh, it's already not the grade. I always thought it's like she's a young, very baby.
Yeah.
But no more, it's a taller than more. And my old one is already in college, so.
Yeah.
So she's a very much used.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is she planning on doing?
She do the food science.
For what?
Food.
Oh, food science.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a.
Yeah.
What type of,
It's a
when
lot.
is she, what type of career does she?
Not sure, but she's looking for, maybe the salary is not very right. I think but you know, probably almost.
Yeah. Business also?
That's the salary, yeah, it's minor, but.
Yeah.
Then.
Volume up.
That maybe how to bring down the emission green.
Test.
That is a lot of back systems, so.
Test.
Like regarding food science?
Regarding the food, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the best way to bring down emissions is lab grown meat. That makes it, that would make an enormous, like, you know, I don't know, equivalent of taking like hundreds of thousands of
Yeah,
cars off.
like cow farting, you know.
Yeah, no, it's serious. I remember people made fun of Ronald Reagan and said, cows farting, but he actually had to tell.
That's the point. But I think it's not fun. You know, the life thing that street is that you will on some point and then you like that one and then you do combination and then you need area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more like, but I you guys, I think actually some funny.
Yeah, you didn't kind of try to drive them to one field or the other.
No, I think it's a problem.
Yeah.
Even, my parents have some, at the when I take the nature, because I get actually it's.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Each trade has a project. It's nothing broken. If we right pay that, some effort that yeah. And how do you deal with resources?
Yeah.
The time, because people know.
You're our first speaker.
Yeah.
Just important.
That's all you have.
Yeah.
That's all you have.
So, yeah, everybody's 24 hours, it's nothing more than that, nothing less. So,
Yeah.
There's your. Where's my? I have a rock in the. Oh, I got it. Is it somewhere?
You can put all the people there.
Waffles. How are you?
A lot of times since we've worked together in coalition. Yeah. You had dark hair the last 4 years. Yeah, me too. I just basically let it go. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna walk around this.
Question.
Okay, we're gonna get started. We have a lot to cover. This isn't very big. You probably all can hear me from the front.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself. Francis, we need to start. Francis, you can start.
Yes.
Are we hooked up to the sound system?
What's that?
Are we hooked
Yes,
up to the
yes,
sound
sound is up.
system? Okay.
And
When I'm passing.
So I don't hear
probably some
anything.
more admits. Yes, admit all.
It's all good. We have fun. Yeah.
Okay, we've got a bunch of people online and a bunch of people here.
Okay, and you let them all in?
Yes, those of you here, please take some of the food. I don't think I can take all of it home.
We all the same thing.
Seltzer water. Oh, two different kinds, but they weren't refrigerated. So- Okay. So- Get me some seltzer water. Thank you. Hi.
Right, so we've got a bunch of electeds in the room. Thank you for coming and candidates. But we're gonna start here with Kat, did you want to say anything?
I do. So we're asking you to stay on mute if you're not talking, if you're in the Zoom. And we will have a Q&A. Questions need to be kept to 1 minute or less because we don't have a lot of time in here. And we will cut you off. It says nicely, but I'm not that nice. All right. We're gonna skip a lot of stuff that we usually do in here. I did want to get to right to strike because we just got some legislation. The right to strike bill, HB 1492. The hearing date will be on March 11th at 1 p.m. in Government, Labor, and Elections. There's a link right there for those of you on Zoom. We'll also send this out to everyone. There's going to be a rally at 12 p.m. right before the hearing. Speaking at this rally will be Delegate Sheila Ruth, who is chair of the Labor Subcommittee and an Our Revolution member, actually. So this is for collective bargaining, public employees, school teachers, school personnel, and library employees. And it's sponsored by all these wonderful people. But shout out to, I think, Delegate Ebersol, who was one of the first ones. We have Acevero in there and our very own, I think she's in here. Teresa should be in here.
She's on there.
She's on there.
Yeah.
I just missed it. Yeah, Jen Teresa. And that's all I wanted to say there. And I wanted to introduce Lori Liskin from Indivisible. Back in the day, we were all part of a coalition called the Howard County Coalition of Immigrant Justice. Our Revolution was a member, Indivisible, and there's a whole bunch of
I
other.
think 16 or 17.
16 or 17. And you can see to this day that there's footage of us protesting at American Indigenous Day, the very first one, with Calvin Ball standing there, and the news will cover it. And the elephant in the room was there were a bunch of protesters, including me and Francis, with big signs, "Let's break that ICE contract." And a lot of people didn't care about it back then, but I'm so glad to welcome all those people who realize ICE is bad. There you go.
Okay, well, the coalition has fallen away. Then we had the pandemic, but I'm here to talk about Indivisible. Does everybody in the room know what Indivisible is? So very briefly, two congressional aides got all upset, as many of us did, after Trump was elected, and they put together a monograph on how to fight back. And it took off. This was in November, and it just took off, and chapters began growing all over the country organically. So now the Howard County Indivisible chapter started in maybe February of 2017. We now have over 1,700 people on our mailing list. There are 49 Indivisible chapters in Maryland, and there are over 2,500 around the country and in other countries. And one nice, exciting bit of news, one of our communications people grew up in a small town in rural Alabama that was deeply evangelical, deeply red. And she just noticed on the Indivisible website that they started a chapter of Indivisible there. So that's always good news. So what I'm here to talk about is what the Immigration Action Team is doing. I have a bunch of handouts over there about what we're doing. 11 things you can do for immigrants right now. There's a sign-up sheet, and I'll talk about it as we go ahead. So we have 3 broad objectives for 2026. The first one, we're thick in the middle of it right now, which is working on positive immigrant legislation in the 2026 session. We've obviously had a huge success with the passage of the bill to ban 287G. The 2 bills that relate directly to Howard County, HB 1017 and HB 1018, which would essentially ban private detention sites unless there are a lot of public discussion about them. And then 2018 has minimum standards set for detention centers. They both passed out of committee. The first one with 1 Republican vote, and the second one got 2 Republican votes, which is pretty amazing. And they're set to go to the floor in the House for a vote probably this week or next week. So we have been writing a lot of testimony. We have been calling our legislators. I know a lot of people don't like to call their legislators, but here's a trick. I have everybody's number in my phone, and about 6:30, especially for the federal, I pick up my phone and I call and I leave a message with the answering machine. So you don't have to talk to anybody. It's really good. That's the only way I got my sister in Iowa to call her senators, was by saying, you don't have to talk to anybody, just call after hours. We are also, the second major objective is informing businesses and community members about their rights. So we have been handing out those little Know Your Rights red cards, and we are now over 8,000 cards distributed in Howard County and other parts of the state. We're also distributing materials for employers and employees about what to do if ICE shows up at your business. And there's some samples over there. We have them in English and Spanish. And we have been to getting close to 150 businesses in the county. And we got funded to have 500 copies, 400 in Spanish and 150. And we have another 100 in Spanish donation, but we're going to get through all of those. And I have to say that the experience has been very positive. A number of the larger organizations like Michaels or Joseph Banks Clothing have their own protocols, but many of the businesses say, oh my God, we have been so worried about this. Thank you for coming. We didn't know what to do. Do you have more of those red cards? We'd like to get some. And we have been thrown out of only one business that I am aware of. I am not going to tell you the name of the business, but what I am going to tell you is that if you want to buy a mattress, do not go to the Long Gate Shopping Center. Enough said. So we're looking for people who want to do that with us. And we have also done training to help people do a better job. So at dealing with businesses or anyone you are talking to about immigration, we've had several know your rights and bystander trainings. We had one just last Saturday. There were 65 people there. The week or two before, we had a training for court accompaniment for immigrants. There were 70 people there, and we will be doing more of that training. And then the third objective is to broaden support for immigrant families in Howard County. We have started a rapid response network. So if anyone sees ICE, they can call. We're having trouble getting more people on it. We've got about 100, but the number is over there and there's a QR code that you can, just get linked to Signal on your phone. And our goal is to get enough people so that when ICE is cited, somebody can get there soon enough and document it. We have also, some of us have completed the legal guardianship paperwork for immigrants that Luminous has been organizing, and then we can help people fill out those forms. We are participating in an Adopt a Corner project, and we have a couple of flyers over there. One of our members started it, and she and her crew get up at an ungodly hour of the morning, and by about 6:30, they are over at the Home Depot parking lot in Catonsville. Sometimes they bring coffee and donuts, but this is where a lot of immigrants come to get day labor. And so the idea is they are there, and maybe that means that ICE won't come, but certainly means if they do, they will be documented. And this is an indivisible idea, and people are doing it around the country. So she is looking for more people. If you're interested, there's a flyer over there. We've also we do fundraising specifically through immigration, and we have done dinners for Luminous to raise money. And I will mention that there is a Luminous fundraiser on March 29th. Called A Taste of the World, and I encourage you all to come. And a bunch of people have decided they want to do direct help to immigrants and immigrant families. So we are working with some other people to try and develop a Howard County IRC, a mutual aid organization, and that's just getting started now. And we will want to be collaborating with other groups in the county, like, not so much in the county, ACLU and CASA, but Luminous, the Christchurch Interfaith Ministry, Columbia Community Care, and others. And in a way, sort of starting to get the Howard County Coalition up and running again. And that's about, I just want to tell you the other things that we have done. We did have an interfaith vigil to celebrate immigrants, and that was attended by over 400 people. Kevin Chin spoke about his family's experience. I think there were 21 faith leaders there. So we're going to do that again. Oh, no, 19. We're going to do that again, but this time we're going to ask for money. We didn't do that before.
Okay, we are.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got to stop?
Yeah, I have to stop. I have so many candidates, and as wonderful as Indivisible is, I just want to shout out to our revolution. We are democratic socialists. We are as far left in this county, Howard County, than you can get. We do a lot of work with the Greater Baltimore DSA. So if people are here, candidates, it really means something to be endorsed by the really progressive far left. If you are a person who wants that, like Bernie Sanders, which, we still have the merch, Mamdani, who I knock doors for. These are the kind of people we really want to support. People who are going to actually do stuff for people, like working families, not just say, it's going to be a lot of the same. We're tired of that. We want people who are actually going to do stuff. I want to introduce the candidates, and I want to thank Lori for being here. Lori is a wonderful resource for all of this, and feel free to get any of that. Thank you. And there's a sign up sheet if you want to join the committee.
you
And
scoot
I'm
in a little
not
more,
sure I
Fred?
can get out here.
Scoot a little bit.
Yeah, you want me to scoot?
Yeah, no, it's the wires that
Yeah.
I don't want to
Be
trip
be
over.
really careful.
Will.
And
Thank
it will
you.
just fall out if, at worst. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're gonna go with the delegates first. How many do we have here
Not
today?
delegates, council.
Not county council, delegates, like,
Delegates?
yes.
Oh,
Abden, I think, is here. Is he here? Did he make it? Is he online? We invited several, some might not be here because they were invited at the last moment. The ones who filled out the questionnaires were Pam Gazone,
yeah, I don't see him.
Abden, who was supposed to be here, didn't show. Who was the third one and Hurd, right?
Yeah, Josh Hurd.
Josh Hurd. They filled it out. So those are people, like I said, we can't endorse you if you don't even bother to fill out the questionnaire. And it was only, I think, 3 that filled out the questionnaire. So we're going to move to county council and trying to move this really quick. The D4 candidates, are they here? You want to come up here and introduce yourselves? Is this the one that has
Well,
the sound?
Or we could turn the camera. It's up to you guys. If you want to sit here or.
Or you can come up,
You guys
either way.
get the positive. Lady
Yeah.
first.
Ladies first, I love it.
And I'm going to give you exactly 3 minutes to talk about yourself, and then we're going to open it up to questions. D4 is the area that I live in, so I have to recuse myself from talking about candidates. When we have our candidate committee, me and Francis, we live in D4, will not be joining in on endorsing. We'll let the committee decide who they want to recommend. All right, take it.
Okay. Sure, thank you. It's the first time not the lady first. But anyway, my name's Ning Feng. I run in County Council D4, and right now I'm the school board member. So I can tell you, I'm immigrant too, and the issue you talk about, I can definitely feel that. And it doesn't matter legal or undocumented. We're facing a very similar challenge. So there's a lot of hurdle, and that's why I testify in the bill to don't allow ICE to have a detention center in the Howard County. That's not our value. My priority mainly focus on education because it's related to my personal experience. I benefit from public education greatly, and my grandfather don't have education, and my father only finished the 3rd grade. My mom is luckier, only the middle school. And so I'm the first one in the family, got a college degree and a master and a PhD degree, and got it from UEA. I moved to Howard County, it's 15 years ago. It's mainly for my daughter, and she's looking for a school system. It's good enough. I feel one of my friends mentioned Howard County, and we moved here. And she graduated from the Reservoir High School 2 years ago. I can see the system we benefit as one of the residents. So I really have a strong motivation. How can we keep investing and keep the system in greater place and a greater system? And once I talk to many parents, and they share very similar experience. We move Howard County for one is public education. Another one is the really diverse community. I cannot see more than enough. I think the Howard County is such a wonderful place to accommodate and welcoming everybody, and everybody feel safe and comfortable. And definitely, that's the one thing I want to keep that way. And it doesn't matter you are immigrant, you were born here, you're Jewish, you're Muslim. Everybody should stay here. So okay, thank you.
Oh my gosh, if that was 3 minutes, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, so first I want to say thank you to our county, our Revolution Howard County and Indivisible for doing this today. We have partnered on some of the initiatives that I have led at the county. So I'm Shamika Preston. My commitment to the people of Howard County is that I'm working on your behalf. The reason I started running for Howard County Council for District 4 is because I led my community's fight against the plastics incinerator that was planned 400 feet from our community by one of Howard County's biggest employers one of the companies that has been in the county for 57 years and has been used to kind of get in their way. And in the amount of time that I've been in Howard County, I've seen less residents get their way than I think should. I think Howard County should help working families. We should help our seniors. We should fully fund our schools. We should be transparent in how we make our decisions. That's the way I want to govern. That's the way I want to be governed. And that's what puts me in this chair today. That's what's grounding my campaign and what's getting me jazzed in the morning. What that looks like as a county council member is lowering costs for families with childcare, electricity costs, housing costs, making sure we have enough housing across the county for folks who live here, who want to work here, ensuring that as Lincoln Chin said, our schools are a priority. Housing and schools go hand in hand, making sure that we plan accordingly. We can't grow our housing without making sure we have schools that can support the kids who will live in these houses.
Okay, we're gonna stop
Okay.
there. Probably had less time because I couldn't go to that. But I'm gonna have you guys sit down, and at the end, we're gonna have people ask questions of you, and they can say which candidate. So that was D4. Of course, we have 2 candidates from D4 didn't bother to show up or fill out our questionnaires. So be aware, these are the 2 who really cared, and both of them had like 5 or 6 pages worth of information. So thank you. I'm gonna have you guys move.
All right. Safely out.
D1, where's D1? One candidate, take it away.
Hello, my name is Kevin Chin, and I'm running for Howard County Council, District 1. A lot of people know me for my affordable housing advocacy, but my day job and also my night job is as an ER doctor. I became a doctor for a simple reason. I wanted to make the world a better place, and I'm running for county council for that same exact reason. I'm a lifelong Democrat. I love my party, and I love my country. A Democratic primary is a fight about the direction of the party. After the 2024 election, not only was I worried about the direction of our country, but I was also worried about the direction of the Democratic Party. We face an affordability crisis in Maryland. The lack of affordability is driving working families out of Maryland. Our comptroller, Brooke Learman, released a report last October which said that every year we're losing tens of thousands of working age people to other states because of that lack of affordability. This affects our local and state economy and leads to our inability to fund our schools, resulting in higher class sizes and teacher cuts. I was at a rally in support of the schools last summer. I spoke with a teacher, Carolyn, who was spending half of her income on rent in downtown Columbia because she loved the walkability in the area. More than half of our teachers are living outside of the county, and we need to support our teachers by allowing them to live where they work. We are progressives. We believe in the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. But you cannot be an inclusive community if you're an unaffordable one. Zoran Mamdani caught fire in New York City with a resounding win because, like me, he has been obsessed with affordability and pocketbook issues. Every day in the ER, I see where bad policy leads to people seeking my care. I'm running to fix those root causes. If you believe in creating a new democratic movement of abundance for the many instead of the few, then come talk to me and join my campaign. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I have to say, Jean Zhu, she also filled out a questionnaire. She was invited late, so we still will be considering her. All right, the next one, D3. What do we have from D3? Just you. No one else wanted to show up.
Good evening, guys. My name is Amr Naviwala. I'm running for District 3 County Council against Christiana Rigby. My main thing that you need to know about me is that I'm running to serve the people, not corporate interests. I think that's an obvious one. I'm also publicly funded. She's not. And my two main areas that I'll be serving that if elected, are funding the schools and getting better school quality. I think that's, sorry, I'm tripping up on my words. I basically want to realign the school budgets so that we increase our school quality. And then the other major area is Board of Appeals. I think we really need to improve and gut our Board of Appeals and get a stronger Board of Appeals, because that is our last line of defense when it comes to our democratic processes and what can get through. Oh my God, I'm blinking out. I'm sorry. So basically, yeah, those are my two areas. And my background is in accounting. I worked in accounting for about 12 years. I have a master's degree in accounting. Sorry, the screen is so distracting. And uh, sorry, I'm so tired right now. I have a master's degree in accounting, and I think I'll be a great fit for the position. And thank you so much. Sorry.
Return our questionnaire. Obviously, she's not here. So thank you for coming, Amir. I'm glad that you cared enough to come and fill out your questionnaire. Is anyone by chance here from D3? D2, I mean? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Come on up.
Apologies on the late submission of the questionnaire that you had.
Okay.
I sent it
thank
to
you.
Francis.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry about the voice.
Okay. And you do.
Yep, you're fine.
Am I good here? Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Rev HoCo. I'm running for Howard County Council District 2. And my pitch here this evening is to let you know that I am focused on improving economic opportunity and affordability. I've got an 18-year career in politics and public policy. I currently work for a statewide public safety agency. Because of the prestige laws, I'm not allowed to say who it is specifically I work for, but it is a statewide agency. I do public safety policy and communications. I've also worked on Capitol Hill during the Obama administration as we were passing healthcare reform, cap and trade, banking reform, student loan reform. I'm Marilyn Mosby's original campaign manager, and can I get a...
Columbia branch in 30 minutes at 8 o'clock. Again, the time is 7:30. And the East Columbia branch will be closing in 30 minutes at 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Okay. All right. As I was saying, I'm Marilyn Mosby's original campaign manager. Proud to elect her as the youngest chief prosecutor of any major city in America. I wrote her speech announcing charges against the officers involved in Freddie Gray's death in the aftermath of the Baltimore uprising. And I'm also the former director of communications for the Maryland Democratic Party. So, like I said, I've got plenty of experience, and I'm going to use that experience on the council to advance specific policies to help improve affordability and economic opportunity. I've got a plan to cut daycare costs by 65% for middle-class families. There's a program in Michigan called the Michigan Tri-Share Program. I want to bring that here to Howard County. If you want to know more about it, feel free to ask me questions in the follow-up. It's also available to read on my website. I've got budget projections and everything there. I believe deeply in policy. The second program is I want to construct 500,000 square feet of SCIF space. These are secured facilities over the next 8 years. These are facilities where government contractors and intelligence agencies have to do their work on top secret contracts and projects. We've got a bunch of half-empty office spaces all around Howard County. I want to use those to bring major employers here and employ our residents. And then the last signature policy that I have is a $20,000 local property tax credit for seniors. This is my first time downsizer program. And this is an opportunity for seniors that want to age in place here in Howard County. They move into a smaller home, they downsize into a smaller home and sell their old home to a first-time home buyer. And that policy helps young families access coveted single-family housing stock and keeps our residents in place, creates a market for developers to start developing and delivering more 50+ communities and units. And it sidesteps the YIMBY NIMBY fight because the infrastructure, there's no impact on the public infrastructure. The final program I want to tell you about, and I'll wrap it up after this, is a rent-to-own program for municipal employees. I want to take fee in lieu monies and help subsidize that program and get some of our teachers, first responders, buying into condos and starter homes. And librarians, yes, county employees. So yeah, that one will be coming out in a couple of weeks. My team is working on that. So thank you.
I have to go very quickly because you got here late, and then it's going to be Liz and Deb, County Executive. And tell them which district you're running in.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Abdul Mateen. I'm running for State Delegate District 9B. And part of why I'm running is I will start with this. I'm not a politician, and that is what we need now. We need community workers who have been in the community and who have been working for the community. And I think my track record of that, working as a social worker for 10 years, brought me to this point that we also need to be advocating for every one of the citizens from Howard County and Maryland State. And that's the point when I decided to run. I'm by profession, I'm a mental health therapist. So part of my policy is making sure that we have mental health care for all, as well as Medicare for all, because that is the conversation that we absolutely need to be having now more than ever. This is not just a story of, some people, but it's the story of everyone where they pay for their insurances. At the same time, when they go to the hospital, they have bills over bills that they will be paying for years. And we need to absolutely make sure we're not putting our next generation in another loans while they're having their student loans that they're paying through. And that is one of the policies that I also want to kind of like touch upon, and I want to work on this, is making sure that we have tax relief for people who are paying student loans. Because we see some of the stories, even people paying student loans when they're in their 70s, in their 60s, late 60s, they're paying for student loans. So a lot of people are not able to even afford housing because of that. So I want to make sure, these are the cornerstone of our policies. And being an immigrant, I want to make sure the immigrant rights are there for everyone without the fear of deportation. And this is what I'm talking about, is not somebody illegal. It's everyone that came here legally. They're also fearing now too, because of what everything is going on. So I want to make sure these three policies are going to be the basic groundwork of what I'm going to be working on. And that's the reason why I decided to run. So if you guys have any questions, definitely reach out to me.
Do it at the end. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to take a minute to say, I'm a little bit sad that both of these women are coming up right now, because it means one of them is not going to be in office a year from now.
Yeah.
We've worked with both of them quite effectively on several issues in the past. Also disagreed on a couple issues, but still maintained a good communication, which is better than our current county executive can say. He has not talked to us since we did the ICE protest.
That thing. I see it.
So,
All right, let's bring you up. Liz Walsh and Deb Young. Woo!
I'll let you go first. I'm a little dressy, guys. I was at another event before I got here, so I look a little overdressed, I think, for this event. Yeah.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I'll go first. My name's Liz Walsh. This is my second term that I am finishing on the Howard County Council representing District 1. 8 years ago, when I ran against an incumbent, I was the only challenger then, to an incumbent on a council that otherwise was flipping over. And at that time, I was really compelled to run because of some of the issues that I could see in my hometown going so badly, so quickly. And those included things like a sanctuary bill being vetoed and not being upheld by a Democratic supermajority on the council. That included things like my old mill town flooding and killing people, to the extent that that's how bad the flooding was because of our clear and scrape policy in the hills and the development developer influence on every aspect of what land use is in Howard County. And thirdly, the AFO that my District 1 historically was always the fastest growing one, but always the one most neglected, particularly in my Elk Ridge. These were things that I could not rationalize, no matter how often I tried, by showing up, by testifying at hearings, by asking for meetings with my rep. I got nowhere. And so as a mom, as someone who had never been engaged in the political system, I decided to take on that incumbent. And we won with a grassroots campaign before ever there was public financing, without a lick of corporate donation, and took out that incumbent with 1 vote. And ever since, we have been going gangbusters. There is not a promise I have made in campaigns that I haven't fulfilled or tried my utter best to, and that includes workers' rights and advocating for a right to recall after the pandemic shutdown for our laborers. Just today, we learned that Howard County Labor Union got a COLA raise that they've been advocating for by private settlement with the library, not waiting for an arbitration decision. From A to Z on workers' rights, from A to Z on human rights. In my first term, we advanced the Local Dignity Detention Act that, again, vetoed at the local level, notwithstanding Kat standing there with a sign behind him on the first Indigenous Day. We still got it passed at the state level, and ultimately the administration had to capitulate and take away that contract at the local level. Always human dignity. We did it again just 2 weeks ago by CB 17, which pulled all of the good that was in the Maryland Values Act passed in the last state legislative session to here right at home and said no ICE operations on public property. Our county public property, get out ICE. All of this, I think I am free to do, and I do with every piece of my will, because I do not take corporate donations. Never have, not since that first race, not 1 dime. And that is reflected in every public policy decision I make, every priority I make, because what has to come first is the people who live here, the people who love here, the people who want to grow old here, and their kids. And in this day and age, as much as I love our schools and as much as I love our green spaces, that threat to democracy is the first and foremost thing in my mind as we approach this next county executive term.
All right. Thank you. Public financing is the most important thing that we can do here in this county when it comes to running for office. And I am so proud to be sitting in this room with I think every candidate who's here tonight is actually a publicly financed candidate. And you go. There is nothing more important than taking the big special interest in corporate money out of politics. I said earlier this year, well, actually last summer, here's a number for people, $280 million. That's what it cost. That's all it cost, really. Elon Musk to buy the presidency of the United States of America. I'm sick of it. And I think all of you are sick of it too. And that is why I chose to use public financing. I'm Deb Jung. I am running for the county executive spot, and I am working really hard to make sure that this publicly financed candidate and campaign will be successful. It is not easy, as those of you who are using public financing know. And it is even harder if you are running as county executive. But it is worth every single phone call, because not to be owned by special interests or corporations or any of the other entities that try to influence you every single day. And I can tell you, I have seen it every single day in this county, will be a paradigm change. And as Shamika mentioned earlier, we saw it just recently and over the course of months with W.R. Grace, where they were able, after losing twice, they were able to win a critical decision with the Board of Appeals, given who they had representing them. And this is, it's not the county we want. It's not the county we deserve. We deserve a county that's free of that influence. We deserve a county that concentrates on how can we fund our schools? How can we make sure that people can age in place? How can we make sure that our unions are getting what they deserve in all, both in our county, at our libraries, at our community college? Those are the things that we should be focused on, not how does somebody who can give a lot of money to a candidate get ahead. I am here to provide that kind of leadership. I am hopeful that with a publicly financed campaign, I will win and I will be able to represent the residents of Howard County first and foremost. Thank you.
Opening up to questions. If you have a question for a particular candidate, whether you're in here or on the Zoom, Francis is monitoring the Zoom. Raise your hand now. And you can stand up and ask any question of any of the people who are here today. Looks like Amir had to step out. So everyone but Amir. Go ahead, Joel.
Hi, great. I've been asked a question that apparently for 10 years now.
No.
The county is talking about affordable housing. So why don't we have one affordable housing land trust act project according to the state website they counted for 2020, small as 2010. So why can't we have at least one project owned rather than rental? And trusts were vaguely discussed in HoCo by design, but I'm not sure anybody really understood what they were like. So any of the candidates.
May I have your attention, please? The time is now 7:45. The East Columbia branch will be closing promptly in 15 minutes at 8 o'clock. If you have materials to check out, please remember to customer show your staff or to a self-checkout station.
So,
the computers will be shutting down automatically in 5 minutes. And the participation will be shutting down in 10 minutes at 7:55. Thank you.
Go ahead.
For the online audience, the question was about why we don't have a land trust, is that right?
Yeah.
For affordable housing.
Publicly financed.
Okay.
Yeah, housing and land trust. Do you want to answer?
No, go ahead. You seem to have an answer. Wait, you don't have an answer?
No, I do, but I'm just formulating it in my head. So you're asking the wrong people. I think you know that, because the reason why we don't have a land trust, the reason why we don't have publicly financed housing on land that is owned by the county is because that would involve the county executive saying we're going to set aside this land and create that kind of housing. And that will enable whoever it is who is building the housing to not spend as much money developing the housing because the land was given to the developer by the county. So in order to create that kind of housing, you have to have a county executive who is going to actively look for a piece of land that is appropriate for that, and then actively look for a developer who is willing to develop on that piece of land. I certainly think it's a great idea. I think that creating land trusts, that using a land trust for this type of development would be a great way to get more low and moderate income housing in Howard County. But it does take leadership and someone who has a commitment to look at our county assets in that way.
I think the answer is the profit motive. the same campaign donors who give to the people in power now would be taking away the ability to make money and profit from the land they own or the development they would build on it. We don't even see for sale units built anymore because it's much more profitable to retain ownership and rent it forever and ever and ever. That is not going to change. I think that's why Citizens Election Fund at the Howard County level is such a game changer, because all of those external influences, those special interests come out, and we actually start making policy based on the public good.
And you can already see some of the ways that our publicly financed campaigns have impacted other campaigns for people who are here in this room and people who are not using public financing.
Okay, any other questions? Your chance. Your mirror's back.
Sorry, I'm so tired. It's from another now. We'll go.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to know, what you're gonna do for the immigrant community when, I wish we could elect both of you. When one of you is elected.
Do you want to go first?
I'm happy to go first. First we have to be vigilant. I think, the near miss with this detention center was really a wake up call, at least to those of us who are in government and care, that we were that dangerously close to actually approving and putting into operation a private detention center. And I think we have to learn best practices from those jurisdictions that have already seen those kinds of surges that we've seen. Minneapolis has a lot of really good lessons, but it was Stuart Pittman in Anne Arundel County who just announced that they're going to start marking the police differently. We got to do that. We can't have unmarked cars making speed stops anymore. We can't have our guys not clearly marked as local law enforcement. Right now, the instruction is if you see ICE doing something, call 911. We want our guys to show up. But I think we really need to hear, and I hear from CASA, I am endorsed by CASA in Action, that here in Howard County right now, it's just the resources that we need to make sure that they know about. I went to a fundraiser over the weekend, maybe 2 weekends ago, where our department of something or other had a list of all of the different resources, starting at the local level, going all the way to the federal, for legal aid, for housing assistance, for food assistance. As soon as you lose that one wage earner, you get into big trouble. And the conversations I'm having with Board of Education members now is, are we tracking attendance in our schools? Like, there are some really good candidates for places where I would expect attendance to drop off. What are we doing to keep those babies, within the community and protect those families, as this is going on? Because I think we have to expect that it's coming in a more intense way than it has already. We can't expect, to be overlooked, and just, every good idea we can, every resource possible, all of that mutual aid stuff that you guys are already organizing, Lori Liskin. I think all of that has to come to bear, but I think it has to have that leadership at the local, government level of, this is how we're all going to manage this. And this is how we're going to share this load, because it is a big ask.
So I would start in Office of Immigrant Affairs, create that in our county government. I can't believe that we are a county that is almost 25% immigrants, and that we have all these various offices that have been created since we were elected. And the one, from my perspective, that is probably the most important would be an Office of Immigrant Affairs, and we don't have that. I think that would be a great way to make sure that all the various resources are in one place, that there are people who know the different languages that are primarily spoken in this county, that it's a one-stop shop for whether it's know your rights or figure out where you can get financial help, or what do I do about something regarding the schools. Those are all things. There are not just ICE. I mean, right now we're so focused on what's going on for good reason, with ICE, but there are so many other issues that immigrants care about, that they're involved in, that they need assistance with. And I think that an Office of Immigrant Affairs would be something really helpful, and it would be an initiative of mine that I would want to do right away.
Okay, we have another question. Yeah.
Oh, no, I was gonna get that.
Candidate.
Brinze Kuche, I'm running,
Is
district.
he mic'd back there or do you want him to come up here?
I think there's this adage that the first step to becoming a revolutionary is getting to know your neighbors. And I think that, we as elected officials, me being an aspiring elected official, and as somebody that spent 18 years, doing political organizing and public policy, a lot of it is government work, and thank you for your vigilance and proactivity on the ICE detention center bill. And the other half of that is us being connected, being able to quickly put together signal chats and informal networks and mutual aid projects. So as your next county councilman, that's something that I'm going to be focused on. The job is not done just what we're doing in workshops and legislative sessions. It's also knowing who to call. Pastor Ayala or Bishop Robbie Davis or something like that. If we have a problem, you have to know who to call. You can't figure that out if you're not connected with your constituents. So a big piece of that is how often and how proactive are you being in establishing those connections and promoting a well-networked community.
Very distracted because they're having a meeting in Studio C. It's in Spanish, and because I understand Spanish, my ear gets so sorry, but I have a question for all of you. What are you specifically going to do for working families as far as healthcare? Because a lot of people, it's tied to their job, and once you lose that job, which many federal workers did, and other people, they have no health care unless they want to pay really high prices for private health care. Anyone who wants to answer that?
Well, I'll just get it started. And one thing that we have done on the county council is support maternal health care for people who don't have any coverage whatsoever, which is extremely helpful because you really do need to make sure that healthy babies get born. And I would also say that the county itself also gives millions of dollars to organizations that help people subsidize their health insurance. But the problem right now is becoming way beyond what the county can probably do. And we will need more state assistance given what the federal government is doing. And we're also dealing with those, with the impacts of the federal government in that right now, the state government has, for the second year in a row, done what we call cram downs. That's when the state crams down money to the county. And Dr. Chin is nodding his head because we know that it got crammed down to the school district last year. So it's hard to come up with extra money for healthcare when the state is cramming down $8 million to the school district, which was literally how much money we needed to save 126 positions that were lost.
Okay, real quick, and then we're gonna wrap up.
Community schools. I think that those services delivered through our school system, where they're already doing to a certain extent now, is the best way to do that and reach those families that are in most dire need of it. The school system has already built up that trust, already has those connections, the communications with those families. And I think it's a natural to build on that delivery method.
Okay, I'm gonna just wrap up. I want to thank all the regular people who came today online.
Regular people. Thank you, regular people.
Thank you to the candidates who were brave enough to come here and share with us, even knowing that we are far left organization. Hopefully people still appreciate that. If you appreciate Mamdani, please appreciate our revolution of Howard County. Please consider joining us. We're only going to allow members to decide on who we endorse. So that's you. Then I suggest you donate and become a member, although we don't define it by money. Any amount, I will let you be a member, especially if you're out of work or you're a student. And thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Are the questionnaires on your website?
they will be.
They will be very soon. Oh, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, I was gonna come in here.
You sign that because it's.
I know, okay, so if your sticks break, let me know, I'll get you
Oh,
one.
we have more.
Okay, yes, yes, mine.
But-
Wind, so